It is the year 2055. After a time of turmoil, Earth is at peace. But this peace has come at a price. A police state is in place, led by a tyrant known as the Governor, and the New World Army. There is no freedom, no religion, no courage. Fear grips the world. No one is allowed to speak their mind. No one is allowed to think. This is the new world. But one man searches for an answer. For someone who is not afraid. For courage. Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. This is the storyteller. I'm here documenting the rise of the resistance and something that has long been forgotten. Something called courage. For a long time, we've been trapped by fear. But I've heard that courage exists. I have a witness to a courageous act. Something is coming. Something that... Something that will change everything.
Was that acceptable?
Yeah, you got the knocks perfectly. I just need to finish setting up real quick.
Your password is weak.
State your name.
You did not say that my name was going to be necessary.
I just need it for the record.
Fine. My name is Lieutenant AJAX of the New World Army. Formerly of the New World Army.
And why are you no longer in the Army?
Because of what I saw the day the Titan fell. It changed me. See, I came to no longer believe in the past. For the first time, I saw the future.
What did you witness?
A teenager. Nothing much to look at. But he walked across an empty field that day and he changed the course of everything.
Who was he?
I don't know his name. He was just a commoner, but I'll never forget him. His eyes. I'll never forget those eyes. He had something I couldn't explain. He had a power, an inner strength.
Describe the day.
Well, every few months we conduct a sweep, just to instill fear. We bring out the Titan.
What is the Titan?
The Titan is the Army's robotic watch system. It stands over 12 feet tall. It's made of pure titanium, nearly indestructible. Carries heat-seeking lasers and a missile array. Once its presence is made, the people become very afraid. The Army doesn't even need to attack. Nobody resists. But then he came along. This little runt. And he couldn't have been more than 17 years old. And when he first came out of the house, most of us laughed. But there was something He had something that we haven't seen in a long time.
What?
Courage. He had a look of determination in his eyes, and I mean, who did this kid think that he was, you know?
So, no one had ever stood up to the Titan before.
Not unless they were crazy. So no, the answer to that would be no. His family tried to stop him. They grabbed him and they pleaded with him, but he wouldn't listen. He just kept walking. And every step that he took, he became a little braver, a little bit stronger. And then just before he was in firing range, he stopped. And he bent down and he picked up tiny little stones, a pebble. I kept it. I had to keep it. To convince myself that what I saw was real, and what I witnessed was real. And the boy stood in the shadow of this giant. And if you could have seen how small he was in comparison to this giant robot, you would have been in awe. On any other day, this kid would be a dead kid, but something was different. You could tell. So he takes this pebble and he puts it in a slingshot, a child's toy, something that you use to scare away birds, and he puts it in, and then he pulls it back and he lets it go. Couldn't have been in the air more than a second, and we're all expecting to hear a clunk followed by the sound of the laser guns destroying the boy. But it didn't happen that way. It didn't. The pebble landed in between the Titan's eyes. When it struck, it sent shockwaves through the entire system. Electricity erupted everywhere. The Titan had started to spin and exploded, and then, just as quickly as it started, it was over. The Titan fell at the feet of this boy.
Did the pebble hit a weak spot?
No, there was no weakness. There was something else. Something much more powerful guiding the boy.
How do you know there was something else?
Because of what I saw after. When the Titan fell, my men panicked and they ran. I was in shock. I just stared at the boy, and his eyes, there was something in his eyes. What I saw there frightened me, sent chills up my spine. What I saw in his eyes was that he expected this to happen. Like it was a plan. I mean, this boy had just destroyed the greatest weapon that the New World Army has, and he didn't appear to be surprised.
How did he do it?
You see this wall here, storyteller? This wall? I could beat my fist against this wall and it would make no difference, but if there was a power, and this whole complex would be destroyed.
I think you're being a little dramatic.
No. Not if you'd seen what I'd seen. I'm not the same. The boy inspired something. He pushed through. He pushed through our rejections. He pushed through an unstoppable force. And he won.
You still haven't answered my question. How do you know that there was something else?
I couldn't figure out how he did it. And I couldn't stop thinking about it either. So I left the New World Army. I went to search for an answer. And what I found was even more scarier than I imagined.
What did you find?
The rumors around the common people. They confirmed what I felt. That the boy, he did have something. He had something inside of him, something that can't be seen and it can't be felt. He had something called faith. Faith in something called God. Have you ever heard of this? God.
No, what is it?
He's bigger than description. He knows everything. He can do anything. He can be everywhere. He is where the boy found courage. And he gave the boy courage for free.
Why would this God give that kind of power away for free?
The people say that he just loves us. And if this God could give the power to this small child to destroy this giant robot, I mean, imagine what God could do to the world, especially if he had this courage to spread.
Well, the New World Army has taken all the courage away. They force us to live in fear.
Yes. You're right. We tried to control people by taking away the courage, destroying it. But you can't. You can't. Courage will come. You can't destroy it. I found a scribe, a person who records historical events. And what he told me was, with God, anything is possible. If that's true, the world will change. It has to. And there's no reason to fear giants, or the governor, or the New World Army. Find God, storyteller, and you can do anything. Anything. There's no need to be afraid. There's no obstacle that you can't overcome. I'm an insignificant little weakling compared to this God.
Well, that's all I need. Thank you.
The story needs to be told.
Where will you go next?
I don't know. I can tell you this. I'm not afraid. And if I have God, if this God can be with me, then maybe I can finally stand up to the governor. I'm no longer in the army. But I'm stronger. Now I'm with God. And through Him, all things are possible. Keep searching, storyteller. Don't give up. It matters. The world is braver now. I'm braver. That boy. His courage. He changed us. He changed the world.
I don't know what to say other than a giant fell. The Titan system was meant to be unstoppable, and yet somehow this boy destroyed it. For those of you out there listening, know that this isn't a story, this is true. And if this God is able to make a boy beat a real-life giant, there's no reason to be afraid. Change is coming. Be brave. Courage rises, hope spreads.